So I've been getting a lot of comments from people asking to see what my desk setup is like. Now, a lot has changed over the years, but this current setup has been working perfect for me. So let me give you a little desk tour. By the way, welcome to the channel. My name is Danny Black, and it's because of people like you who are making this YouTube dream a reality for me. So thank you so much for being here, and I can't thank you enough for subscribing. And if you are new, don't be a stranger, click that button right there. Also, a huge thanks to Artgrid for sponsoring this video. Artgrid is a great platform for stock footage for your videos, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on in the video. And in case you're interested in anything that I'm showing here, I will put links to everything down in the description, plus a surprise link. And yes, I do know that there is a burst blood vessel on my eye, so I'm sorry if that's a bit disgusting, but you won't be seeing my face too much in this video. All right, now let's get to my desk setup. And just so you know, this is not a flex. This has basically been a work in progress for the last 2 years. And although this is the perfect setup for me right now, who knows where I will be in 2 years, and maybe we'll revisit this video. All right, so let's just go ahead and start with the desk. This is actually just a big piece of wood that I got from the Home Depot of Australia, Bunnings. By the way, if you didn't know, I am an American living in Australia. Australia, wow, maybe the accent's rubbing off on me a little bit. The legs are actually just adjustable legs from IKEA. And so I just screwed them into the wood. Under the desk, you can see I have a little adjustable mount for my keyboard and trackpad, which is really nice because you can pull it out and you can angle it whichever way you want. Lift it up, lift it down. It's just really nice to keep the keyboard and mouse out of the way on the desk. Also, I have a little IKEA light strip under here just to give the keyboard a little bit more illumination. To the left of that, I have my big Audio-Technica headphones, which I keep plugged in at all times. That way, if I need to do a quick podcast or something like that, I can just grab them and have them ready. Over to the right, you'll see I have a PreSonus Studio 68C. This is what I use as my audio interface going into my computer. Now, I have done a video before about a bigger Yamaha mixer that also can be used as an audio interface, and I actually use that on a lot of my gigs because I'm a musician, so I don't have that in my current setup on my desk. Down below the PreSonus, you could see I actually have a smaller mixer, which is great for when I do like live music streams on my music channel. It's just nice to be able to have that little mixer there where I can just like adjust the volume really easily. Holding that mixer up though, I have a lot of these little brackets. These things are brilliant and you'll be seeing them throughout the rest of this video. So using this little bracket and these little angle mounts, which are also brilliant, I fashioned a way to just make this work perfect as a mixer stand. Now I do have a little iPhone 6 over here where I just have a bunch of music on it, and that music can just go through anytime I'm doing any kind of a podcast or live stream. I can play music directly from that. Now for my chair, I have an Artist exclusive wooden office chair. I bought this one on Amazon, and it's been very comfortable. And now going above the desk, we'll start on the left-hand side. One of the coolest things that I've got to review is this little hidden power strip. And you have 2 plugs, 2 USB ports, a USB-C port, and it also works as a wireless charger. Now behind that, you'll see that I have an Echo Dot, which is really cool and something that I use a lot in this room, where I have a lot of things connected, different lights, where I can be like, computer, turn off the back power. And then sliding across that back wall, you'll see I have these nano leaves that actually my wife got for me for my birthday a couple of years ago. So I really love those, and they work really nice. It's just a backsplash. And it also helps ease strain on your eyes because you have a backlit wall instead of just looking at a really bright monitor. Now moving down the line, you'll see that I do have a Stream Deck Mini, which is just 6 buttons on it. And I feel like that's good enough. A lot of people go for the larger one, but to be honest, I use it very little. I know there's a lot you can do with it, but I just haven't really gotten into it too much, but I want to dive in a little bit more just to see what else I can use it for. So also built into the desk, you'll see that I have a Rode PSA-1 arm, which is like the staple arm for any kind of big microphones. And then also I have the staple of microphones, which is the Shure SM7B, which I love, sounds great, and it's nice to have. But also I have another Rode PSA-1 arm that I can use for overhead shots. It looks really nice and really easy and functional, and I can move it around. It's just great when I need those quick overhead shots for product reviews. Now, before we get to the computer, monitors, lights, camera, and all that stuff, let me just give you a quick rundown on Artgrid from over there. An important part for any content creator is having some good stock footage or B-roll, you know, to cover up some of those rough edits or to help illustrate the story you're portraying in your videos. And Artgrid is one of the best out there, and they have a huge selection of different videos, and you can easily search it by keyword or theme, shot type. I mean, you can browse for ages. There's so much good content, and you don't want to make the mistake of using unlicensed footage in your videos because that can come back to bite you. And you don't want to spend a huge amount of time searching for different clips or a huge amount of money buying separate clips when you can just pay per month or per year and you can have all these clips at your disposal. Now, I'm not just trying to sell you on this. This is something that I use a lot and I highly recommend it. Artgrid has been a great supporter of this channel and helping it grow. So if you could do me a favor and click the link in the description or the pinned comment, and that will let them know that you came from me, and that will help out my channel and it'll also help out your channel. So check it out. All right, now that we're back, let me just tell you about the computer that I'm using. So I'm actually using a Mac Mini that is now 2 years old. Some would argue even older than that, but it's souped up and works great, but it does get hot. So I have a little fan back here that I can also control with my voice to turn it on and off, depending on if I'm recording a video. But with that Mac Mini, I also have an eGPU, which is what you see down here. So when I'm editing videos and doing a bunch of graphics work, this helps a lot. So I've had this set up for like 2 years now and my computer does not seem slow, and it's great because it powers all the monitors. Talking about monitors, you can see that I have two Samsung 32-inch UHD 4K monitors. These things are beautiful. I love these monitors so much. Now, I used to have them mounted on the wall. I kept thinking that they were gonna fall or something, so I ended up investing in these little desk mounts, which is great because I can move the monitors and angle them and tilt them in different ways, but they just look phenomenal. I love these monitors. Now for speakers, I've been using the Adam Audio T5V. Now Adam Audio did send these to me to review, and they are fantastic. These are the best speakers, and I hear everything with amazing amount of clarity. It's so good. Do check out that review. Now, one of the problems that I did have with these speakers were they're a little bit bigger for my current setup on my desk. And so I thought, hey, you know what would be kind of cool is if I just bought a monitor arm and then flip it upside down so that the speaker can just lay flat on it. And that's what I did. And it's been really cool because I can also adjust these as well if I want to kind of angle them a different way, but also if I need to change any settings in the back, it's just easy to kind of move around and it just doesn't get in the way of anything that I'm doing here on the desk. Now behind the monitors, I have another one of these little mount brackets, and what I use that for is I jerry-rigged this little U-shaped camera stand. And so I wanted the camera to be mounted on the wall. That way, if I'm touching the desk or anything like that, you won't get any kind of motion coming from the camera, which has been a problem in the past. So I have it doing a little bit of a U and going into my jobby ball mount. And then I have my camera on it, which is the A6500, an oldie but a goodie. I'm looking to upgrade to a new camera soon. So Sony, if you're watching this, well, I'm happy to pay for it. I just waiting for the next Sony Alpha camera to come out. The lens that I'm using currently on this is the 16mm Sigma f1.4, which is an amazing lens. It's got this bokeh behind it. Then also I have the Nisi variable ND filter on here, so depending on how bright it is, it's really nice that I can kind of just control that. I really love that thing. That was great. Now I plug USB power into it, so it's always got power, and then an HDMI out into a cam link into the computer, which is great because then when I'm doing these videos, you can actually just monitor your video as you see me doing right now. That way I know if I'm in focus or not in focus. That is the question. Plugged into my camera, I have the Rode Wireless Go. Now I did just get the DJI wireless microphones, which I love. These things are fantastic. I can't recommend them enough. But since I already have the Rode Wireless Go, it's just nice to have this as kind of like a permanent solution right here. And then I use these DJI microphones anytime I leave the house or leave the office or whatever. Now the reason I'm using the Wireless Go is because I have it connected to the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, which is great because then I can move this microphone anywhere and I just don't have to worry about the wires coming around. I love having the microphone just right above my head. I made a whole video on why I do that and you can check that out if you would like. Now you can see I'm using one of these mounts up there connected to a small rig clamp, which is connected to this UU Rig Magic arm. And while we're up here, you can see that I have one key light here above, which is one of those USB stick lights from IKEA. But on the side of those, I have these really cool lights. I cannot pronounce the name, but these lights are great. I have them mounted on with those cool little mounts that I like so much. But it's really nice because I can adjust the brightness and the color temperature, but also I can bend them down just in case I need more light on the desk, or I can bend them back in case I need more lights on the back wall. Also, just a quick shout out to XReArt for this amazing recycled iPhone art. I love this thing. I literally feel like that's everything on here. I think I've shown you everything, right? Actually, there's one more thing to show you. Sometimes I get a little visitor hanging out down here below the desk, which is kind of nice. But there you go. Thank you again, Artgrid, for sponsoring this video. And I really hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, this is not some kind of flex, like saying, hey, look at me, look at all this cool stuff. This took a long time to put together, and I'm proud of it. It's been great. I like this setup a lot. But now that this video is done, gotta start working on the next one. A lot of products to review, fun videos to make. So stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.
LiveStream Live.